Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in the last video of French certification exam series grammar portion, we covered problem number 7 and 8 from 2024 questionnaire. In this video we will start with the problem number 6 and then move on to solve others. So let's read through this problem first. It says complete a away. So by now you must know this is standing for with, and we have been given some choices. So in these choices, these are your definite articles and these are your indefinite articles. Let me just write that down. So these are your definite and these are your indefinite articles. I'll explain that in detail once we move to the board, but we need to complete this following paragraph using this. So let's read through what exactly is happening. So it says Samedi. Basically, this stand for your Saturday in French, and then this is this. So basically, it means this Saturday blank anniversary. So basically, this stand for birthday. So it is saying this birthday of Alina. So basically, this person is the name, and it's written ill here. So it's basically her female. So this is the name of the person. Her birthday is on Saturday. And invite. So basically, this means to invite. So to invite blank Amis is your friends, and this is we saw it means to. Safete basically to party. Fete is your party. So basically to the party blank friends. Amy is again friend. The Elena then is mentioned that violent. So it's basically want and offer refers to offer. This is basically a verb. So to offer blank cardio is your cake, and basically cake or a gift, you can say. Cake is generally used gato, so uh, cardio is your gift. So gift means is but, and then it says Suk personal. So basically each person. So check person is basically your each person are idi different things. So basically idi we just know that in the last video also we discussed this. Idi is your idea. So idea, it's idea different. So each person has to bring something as a gift for her, but everyone should have a different idea. Okay. So he's saying now Audrey is the name of the person. Audrey Travaille the inn. So basically, this person is working in blank boutique. The chaussures refers to shoes. So this person is working in shoes boutique, and LA would rate offer. So this means that this person Audrey is a girl because it's mentioned she here. So she works in a boutique of shoes, and would like to offer. So would like to offer. This is a would rate offer means would like to offer. Would like to offer shoes. Okay. Then there is a blank and it says shoes. Then in Naza, this is the name of another person. Nader love Biko. Biko is very much. Nader love very much blank. Wages is travel. And LA. So This is again a girl because it is an LA here. So Nadja is also a name of a girl. Would offer. So would like to offer blank. So bilet the avion. So bilet the avion means basically a plane ticket. Avion refers to a plane. So billet is basically a bill part. So a plane ticket, a plane ticket for blank weekend of Barcelona. So weekend to Barcelona, basically to the Barcelona. So this is basically about the place part they are talking about. So what exactly it means is this Saturday is the girl Aliana's birthday, and she has invited her friends to the party. She is offering them the party, and they are supposed to offer her gift. When the idea of the gift of each person should be different. So she has already two friends. One is Audrey, who actually works in shoes boutique, so she's giving her shoes. And then another one, which is Nadja, she actually likes to travel, so she's giving him. Oh, she's giving her a plane ticket to Barcelona. This is what exactly it looks like, and now we will try to understand how can we fill these definite and indefinite article in this complete paragraph. So let's move to open board, and here I will just write down the topic. So let me just have this. Yeah, so the topic is basically your please articles which are your definitions, and so in and we write et in French. So indefinite, indefinite. All right. Okay. So in French, basically you need to remember every noun. Every noun has a gender and a number. So when I say gender, it means it would be either masculine or feminine. This mean could be masculine or feminine. And when I say number, it means it would be either singular or plural. And this goes for all the nouns available. So when we talk about definite articles, like I showed in the question also, they are basically your LE, LA, L apostrophe, which is just a contraction, and then your LES. Okay, so like LES is for your plural, and La is used for girls, Le is used for boys, and this in case of vowel or silent H in starting of next word. Okay, so yeah, this is what exactly is the definition. Now let's write down what exactly the part where they are used. So definite articles are used for specific things. Specific means very particular things, and general concepts also, or things. So in case of specific and general things, we can always use them, the definite articles. Okay, and moving on from here, let's try to understand how the table for them look like. So I told you that there would be two number, either singular or plural, and it would be either masculine or feminine or before vowel or h. Okay, so just in case if it's masculine, then we will use le, and if it is feminine, we will use la, or in case there is a vowel or something, you will use l apostrophe. In case it's plural masculine, you will use les. In case it's female, then you will use les. And in case it's a vowel, then you will also use les. Okay, so the good part here is, just let me, if you can figure out, we have to use definite articles, and you figure out it's a plural, then you can never get wrong answer. Or if you can figure out it's a definite articles and it's a vowel or h here, then also you will never get a wrong answer. Okay, so the most important part is to figuring out whether it's a definite article or not. Okay, so suppose there is an example, la livre, then it's a book, and book is basically your masculine. And if I talk about the chaise, basically your chair, then it's feminine. Similarly, if I talk about la apostrophe me, so I'll just write it for you, la apostrophe me, then it's basically the friend, and it is coming vowel here. This is vowel. That's why I have used la apostrophe. And if I say the books, then I have to say les, les livre. Okay. And similar in the case of chairs, if I have to say it, I'll say les chaise. Okay. Let's discuss indefinite article then. Since we know how this works for definite, let's try to understand the indefinite articles as well. So what do they mean? Okay, so they are used for, since they are used for specific thing, they must be used for non-specific. So they are used for non-specific things. Okay, like I told you, I gave you some example for friends, for your books, or for so basically for livre or your chair. They are actually specific things. So when they are used, so we just write your definite articles. Otherwise we will go with indefinite articles in case of non-specific things, or things which are mentioned for the first time. So suppose you mention for the first time anything in the entire paragraph and it was not mentioned before, then we will use indefinite article instead of the definite one. So how exactly it looks like from them? So we will have two cases, singular and plural, and when we have to write here about the gender part, then it will be masculine or feminine. Now what actually happens when it's singular, you write un when it is singular and masculine, and if it's female, then you write un. And when it comes to plural case, then we just write des and des. So again, the good news is, if you can figure out it's an indefinite article case, then also you cannot go wrong on it. So that means this entire topic is very scoring. You can actually get good marks in it without even knowing the entire scenario going on. So if you don't know the noun gender, or you just know that it's a plural, then you can actually work through it out. And in case of gender, you can actually take wild guesses in the exam if you don't know it. If you know it, then of course it's always good. Anyways, so let's go back to the question and work around it how exactly we can solve that one. So I'll just hide up one board and we are here. All right, so let's begin this. Yeah, it says Sammy says anniversary. The Elena, now Elena is basically a girl, and it talks about the birthday. So Elena birthday is actually a specific person birthday, right? Although this anniversary it is masculine, but it starts with a vowel also. So the good part is I am able to figure out a specific and it starts with a vowel. So what do I have to do? I will use L and this apostrophe. Now whether I would have known this is masculine or not, I would have still got it correct because I was able to figure out that it is going to be direct, and I just had to add this. Okay, so she in white. Now again you see here we have the friends and I have a vowel here. The good part is that she invite friends, and this is not actually a some friends or not every single friend she has, but Jan, it is just an unspecified plural amount. Like she just mentioned that she invited some friends. Okay, so because it is not specified and it is not a specific thing since it is not specified. So what we should do? We should actually go with indefinite article in this case, and because we have an s here, so it means plural. So I'll write ds Safete, and then it's again talk about the friends of the Elena. Now think, we are talking about the friends who were invited. They now become specific, right? Because now the sentence is actually talking about specific friends. Another thing is this was introduced before, and in the definition of indefinite article it should have been introduced first time. So in this case then both are suggesting that I need to add definite article and plural one. So I'll write les. Okay, then it says the Elena want to offer. So basically the friends of Elena want to offer some gift to her. Okay, so now because her friends wants to offer a gift, and if you remember that kadyo is basically masculine singular. So because it is masculine singular, we have to write here un. Why I am using indefinite? First thing is this gift is introduced first time, and this is actually not a specific gift. They want to offer some gift, but later on we just read through the paragraph before starting solving it that later on the gift gives specific. So we'll see if that comes as a fill in the blanks next. It says that each person should have a different idea. Now you see here is coming with the vowel, is starting with the vowel, and each person should has a different idea, and this idea part is actually your feminine. and it is not plural also. So it is not plural, it is starting with a vowel, and it is not going to be specific also, because these ideas is a very general term, right? Not a specific idea it is talking about. So I have to write UN. Okay. Then it talks about Audrey works in boutique of shoes. So basically, this person works in the shoe store. So boutique is actually your feminine and is actually a singular. So since it is feminine and singular, and should I use definite or indefinite here? Now the thing is, because you have not a specific name of the boutique here, it will come into indefinite. So I will write UNE. Okay. And LA could like to offer shoes. So they would like to offer shoes. And now because it is some shoes, it is not specified amount. Okay. But since it is S written, it simply means that it is plural. So what do I have to do? I have to use indefinite, and I have to use indefinite plural in this case. So I will write DES. Okay. Then it talks about the other girl who like very much to travel. So when it says about travel, or like or dislike, for which basically your terms are aimer, adore, or disturb. These are the terms we basically use in French for your like and dislikes. So with likes and dislikes, it is always the case that you have to talk about the definite article. Okay, you need to remember this always. As soon as you find something specifically telling about the like and dislike, in general, it is always the case of definite article. Okay, so this is also a case of definite article then, and here it is actually plural. So what do I have to do? I have to write les here, and then it talks about a plane ticket. Okay, so when we talk about the plane ticket, it comes with the billet. Billet is your actually the bill, which is your masculine, and it is singular. So it's masculine singular, and it is not specified also. Okay, so I again have to use indefinite. So I'll write UN in this case, and then it talks about the blank. So for weekend at Barcelona. Now it talks about weekend. So weekend is your masculine, and again it's masculine and singular. So because it's masculine singular and to a place, but it is not specified for how many days. Okay, it says weekend. So what I have to do is I have to use indefinite again, because it is introduced also for the first time, the Barcelona, and I will use UN. Okay, so basically if you see here, what I have done in the case of adjectives, that I have read through the noun, what exactly is the noun. So they are actually following the noun, and I, for solving this, I should be knowing what exactly is the gender and the number, in particular for the noun. So if I know this, then I can only solve this. Otherwise, it would be very difficult. So that's this entire way of solving this mostly depends if you are able to find out whether you need to use a definite or indefinite article, and on once you are able to find it is definite or indefinite, then you have to decide whether it is going to be plural or singular. So it more on depends actually figuring out the gender and the plural of the noun, which is going to follow after the blank. Okay. All right. So let's read the next question then. So it says put the verbs in parentheses to the imperative. So basically, this is your imperative, and they are used in order to give command. So this is actually the verbs in the parentheses. We have to put them in this form that they are actually giving command, and this is again of 5 marks. So let me read through this before we move to the concept of how exactly we work with the imperative. Okay. So it says excusez-moi. So basically it says excusez-moi means excuse me. Excuse excuse me, monsieur. Basically this is used for sir or your mister. Basically they say with respect. SCQ. So I told you SCQ is basically used for us. Basically essay is usually used for putting a question. Ilya YA. So basically, Ilya YA. Whenever you see this, it is always mean is there is here. It is usually used in that context. Okay, is there a poste? So poste is for your post office. So post office. Press DEC. So press DEC is used for nearby. Okay, nearby. Now see this. When I wrote post office, we have used UN here. Why UN is used? We just covered this in these definite and indefinite. So basically, your post office is the one which is going to be your masculine, and it is because using indefinite. So we have used UN, and it is also singular because there would be only one post office. That's why. Okay. Then here, if you see Yun Poste, so basically now it has been made with E here, and we have written E here also. So again, indefinite, and he is actually putting post office also with E because he has used UNE. Okay. Yun Poste praise DEC. So basically, uh, it is actually asking that, yeah. So basically, it is actually replying back. You are asking about the post office. It is there. Then it says alert to go. Basically, we have to make this one imperative. Thought through it. So basically, straight ahead. So this is used for mentioning you have to go straight uh, head. So you have to walk straight. Okay. Prendre, basically it is used to mention to take. This is actually a verb. So it says to take. Deuce, this is basically street. So it is deuce is basically your number. So it is second. So it is talking about taking the second street. Okay. And it is saying on the droid. So basically, because it is written also is on the droid, that is on the right. Then, so when you see this word, it is basically used for then. It is called pre. So it's then la primer. This is basically la primer means the first rue. So rue is again the street which I showed you earlier. So rues to the gauche. So basically gauche is used for left. So someone is giving instruction that you have to walk straight, then take the second street on the right, and then the first street on the left, and then you have to continue to droid. So to droid we just discussed above also, it is going straight ahead. So I'll just write this time straight ahead. Then it says traverser la river. So basically this is about river, and when I say traverser it means cross. So you have to cross the river. So basically not they have to actually swim through the river, it just means that there would be a river flowing, and beside that river just you have to cross that with the bridge, and you will move to the other side that is going across. So it says across the river at Arrive. So you will arrive Suryun place. So basically you will arrive on a square. Okay, on a square. So basically a square type of place you will arrive at. La poste. This is basically telling you that this is female singular. So la poste say through way. Through way is basically the location is located at. Say through way is located. So is located at the Votre gauche, also basically on the left. On the left, gauche is basically your left. So sur la place. So again on the left in a square place. Okay. So this person uh, has given the clear instruction. I know because it's a mail, because it was mentioned that Sir and Mr. Monsieur was written. All right. So what actually happened in the entire text? There's a girl who's asking a man, "Is there any post office nearby?" And that person actually told her to walk straight ahead first, and then take the second street on the right, and then move further and take the first street on the left, and then continue straight ahead again, and then move across the river. So just cross the river and arrive at a square type of place. The post office is located on your left at this square place. Okay, so instructions are quite clear, and we just have to make them imperative to the verbs which are given in the brackets. So let's go further and see on the open board how exactly this works. So I will just add a new board, and yeah, so I'll just write the imperative. We are studying this part. So the purpose is to give commands, orders, instructions, or advice. If the purpose is to do this, then we actually use imperative. So in the other words, I can write it is used when we tell someone what to do. Okay, so in French, the imperative exists only for three types of grammatical persons. This makes life quite easy. So we have actually only three grammatical persons for which we actually use imperative, because we are giving command. So that's why it gets easier to actually have less. So the person are basically, who would it would be two, because I am using for this for you, and then it would be of course knows and whose. Why so? Because they are, this is basically used in formal context, whose, and no is basically used for we. So that's why I'll just write down their usage also. Give order to one person you know. In that case, we will use to imperative. And so when it comes to news, we actually suggest something to many people, or to one person, one person formally. And when we talk about no, then it to suggests to your group, basically, because it suggests to we, so we will go there, we should do this. Okay, so we are giving command to everyone with us. Okay, that is why it formed like this. So to form the imperative, what we do is we take the present tense conjugation of the verb and remove the subject pronoun, like tu, new, view. Okay, we remove this. So what actually happens once we do this? So regular verbs, I need to, yeah. Okay, so regular verbs, like suppose there is a verb attendre, basically means to wait. We will have attendees for whose. So so attendees will be uh, will be will be my imperative. You got me? So what exactly is the way when we will take the present tense, okay, conjugation of the verb. So present tense conjugation were given to us in the bracket itself in the problem, and we just need to remove the subject pronoun. So there would be some subject pronoun like this, because it is saying uh, thought, droit to someone. So basically straight ahead to someone. So we need to remove this part. For regular verbs like this, which are mentioned in the bracket, we will just have to use this form of whose. And if we did this correct, we got through the main part. Okay. So life is not that easy, because there are some regular verbs, but there are more other type of verbs. So let's cover that also. For er verbs, like the one which ends with er, suppose the verb is continuer, so basically you continue, or traverser. Remember there was a word traverser, moving across the river. A river, this was also there. You will arrive at through. Okay. When we actually have this, when using the to form for these kind of verbs, we drop the final s, and this is done for smooth pronunciation. So I'll tell you how exactly it goes. So if the verb is your continue, and you want a to put is in present tense for to, then it just become to continues. Okay, but when it comes to imperative, what will happen? So I told you that the s we remove, and we remove the subject pronoun also. So the verb was this, the present we have taken, removing this, so it becomes continue. And earlier what was happening, we had the verb which was attendre, and there was a subject pronoun related to it. So what we did is we removed the re part from there, because we knew that in present tense how this will look like, and then we put ez. Okay. You need to note something important here. The rule which I just mentioned of removing s does not apply to some cases which are before your y or en. Okay, so en and y, this we did in I think your fourth video or third video, this type of question. So example of this could be your was I, was why, why basically is to go ahead in this case. So here we keep the s sound. Okay, we don't remove the s sound in this case. Here we keep the s sound. And why we are keeping this? Because it is actually having a y here. So if it would have en, then also we would have kept the sound. Okay, so yeah, that was how actually it works with the imperative. Now what I'll do, I'll just tell you some common verbs which have irregular imperative forms, because these are the verbs which definitely going to actually come up, and you must know how exactly to deal with these. So let me just take few more couple of minutes on this question. So I will just write infinitive. Okay, and here I will write three forms. I told you that it's either to, it's or no or wo, and no other case in which we have infinitive. Okay, so the first one is your atre verb. What does it mean? It means to be. So if these verbs come, then when it comes to imperative form of it, with tu, it becomes sois. Okay, and with new, it becomes soyon, soyon, and with wu, it becomes soya, soya. Okay, so basically, when I we have to give command to one person, we write soy. With the whole group, including that person as a we write soyo, and with boo, we write soye. Okay. Similarly, is the case for avoid, which is again. So I just write above irregular, irregular verbs, so that you know that these are the most important, which definitely going to come. At least one of them will definitely come. It's to have. Okay. So when it comes with you, it comes AIE. When it comes with new, it comes as ion. When it comes with woo, it comes as IA. Okay. Now let's move to the next one, which is Ale. Ale means to go. And if you remember, this was in the passage also. So this one with tu comes as wa or was wa. Here we will keep the s sound also because y is there, and in nu it becomes anos or ali. Okay, so they have very specific forms. That's why you need to remember them. Then comes your soy. This means to know. They will come as sashi, sashons, sashis. Okay, this is basically verb to know. Then comes your vouloir, basically to want, to want. This will have your case as will and violence and pulch. So they actually keep on changing their forms, and you need to remember that what exactly they will become next. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to deal with this. Another thing I want you to know before we move to the question, which is also very important, is we can also make negative imperative. This is also something we must understand, because this is what can actually come in exam, negative imperative. So in order to make a negative imperative, what we do is we add ne pa around the verb, and we wrap the verb around this and it's a negative. So suppose we have a word parley. Okay, parley is to speak, which comes from the verb parlor. So, okay, so this is a verb speak. So I want you not to speak. Then what will I do? I'll write ne parley pa. Okay. Now suppose it is the verb parnes, parnes la rue. So I told you rue is actually your street, and la is basically here because it's a feminine. So it says pane. Basically it says take. This is for take. Okay. Parle la rue. So I don't want you to take the street. So what I will say, ne. This is actually using for take. So I'll write ne panes. Now what should I do? I should wrap this because my rule says ne pa around the verb. Then what about the la rue? I'll add it here and it becomes negative. Okay. So let's do one more. It says Ali to throw. Okay. So it says go straight. Now I don't want you to go straight. What will I do? I'll write ne, I'll write pa, and in between I have to add a verb. Okay. So the verb is Ali. Okay. Ne ale pa, throw, throw, throw. So don't go straight. This is how actually you make negative imperative. Okay. And this is very easy. You just need to understand that your focus should be on the verb. Whatever the verb is, your focus should be on that and not the entire sentence. Once you find out the verb, then it get very easy to make it negative. Okay. And this is was very important. You need to remember that we have three: no, tu, new, wo, and we need to remember for atre it comes to soy, soyon, sois. When it comes to avoir it comes at a, ions, is. When it comes to ale you need to remember wa, was a, ano, ales. So avoir and eller are quite near to each other but still very different in terms of meaning and spelling. But yeah, and then comes the sword, which is to know. It has very different spelling. When it comes with tu it becomes sache, when it comes with nu it becomes sachons, and when it comes with wu it comes saches. Okay, but in real it is your sword, basically to know. Similar is the case with volar, which means to want. With tu it became venule. When with new it becomes venules, and with wo it becomes values. Okay, you need to remember this, and here you just need to remember that we have three cases, and we remove the case when it comes to the we remove the case of s when it comes to the verb which is actually ending with er. Okay. All right, so yeah, I think that is all you need to remember, and with this, we can move to the question now. So, let's do that. Let me open it. Alright, so just let me use red color. Yeah. Basically, you need to set the tune here. So the sentence starts with "Excusez-moi, sir." This simply means informal case. So you need to set up the tone. It's informal case. Let me see if there is any sign of informal conversation here in the later part of the text. So I don't find much of the part which talks about your informal. So it's there is one word which actually saying votre. Votre is the word which is telling me that it is actually very formally going. Okay, so it is formal. The tone is formal. Okay, and also here, excuse me, moi, monsieur means she's talking to a stranger, and the stranger is also replying with votre. I confirm that in a very formal tone. So they don't have any sort of relationship where they can actually use tu instead of woo. So they are using woo. That simply means I have to use woo form. Okay. Let's read through it. Excuse me, monsieur, S. Secure. Is there a post office? Place the IC. And this has been repeated. I think this one is not needed even. Okay. Then this person says we. Ale. So basically, ER verb. What exactly is the woo form of this? Okay. We have an ER verb. So what we do with ER verb, we remove the ER, and instead of that, we add EZ, and that becomes the woo form of it. Okay, so I'll add this one. Then stay straight through it. So basically go straight, prendre, basically to take. And what exactly is the woo form of this? So for this we write PRENEZ. Okay, this is basically a woo form of it. You need to confirm this with irregular verb. That's why it's basically remove D also. Okay, then it says take the street on the right, then the first street on the left, and again I have a ER verb. So this we use in the example also. So what I will do, I will just write its woo form. Okay, so remember, if a new form comes in the exam, you have to move with the new form then. Okay, and Q form came, then it's good only. You can move with the Q form. So it's straight ahead, and then the next one, which about cross the river. What exactly is woo form for this one? So it TREVERSSEZ. Okay, so you cross the river and a river. So this is again I need to find woo form for this. So it's arrives. Okay. Sur la place, la poste se trouve a votre gauche sur la place. Okay. So we have actually used all the woo forms, and we just solve this up. Okay. Remember, even here also I could have said this is formal tone only. I should have not written informal, but I thought maybe in the next part somewhere two would be there, and because it could be a stranger, but still the stranger is elder, then he can use imperative as to. So I had to find, but they use votre, which simply means it's formal only. So yeah, that is how you solve this one. We will move to the next question then. Okay, so this actually says put the verb in the parentheses uh, to present tense. So basically, we have to use present tense here. Now, remember this thing that when I talk about present tense, it is about actions happening right now. So I'll just write actions happening in present or in nearby future. Okay, so immediate future or in general truth cases also we use present tense. Okay, so let's try to understand this first, what exactly it means. So it says the ceremony, the overture. So ceremony is starting. Okay, so some ceremony is starting. When it says ceremony, it simply means the opening ceremony. Okay, ceremony starting, opening. Okay, basically this means opening. Hello, this actually means hello. Hello, you to be at study. So this means at stadium. So study stand for stadium. Okay. So someone is asking, "Are you at the stadium?" And that is on a phone, I suppose, because it says hello. Then it says Seth's comments. So it's basically saying it's starting. It is starting. So it says Q. So this one is a verb. It basically means to want. So to want, see. So want see, say Q, say passe. So basically, what is happening? So someone is asking what is happening because the person who picked up the call is he just mentioned that he is at the stadium and ceremony is starting. Okay, we Sa common say stadium. So basically, I am at the stadium. I just reached to the stadium. Basically, he's saying rencontre-moi. So basically, he's saying tell me, qu'est-ce que tu voir. So basically, it means what is that you see. So where is basically to see. So it says may become the gens. So gens refer to people. So and Bikub refer to many. So we say mercy Bikub. It means many thanks. Okay, thank you very much. So he's saying Bikub the gens. So many people I see. Dancer basically this is verb to dance and shantu. So basically it means to sing. So I see many people dancing and singing the auteurs. Uh, Auteurs refers to others. So it says the others. Now, faire is a verb which means to make or to do something. So the others make or doing the acrobatics. So basically the aerobics others are doing. So you say incroyable cessfo. So cessfo stand for it is crazy. It is crazy. And incroyable is basically unbelievable. So he's saying that it is unbelievable that people are dancing, singing, and doing acrobatics in the opening ceremony. So he says, "What?" So show you why we actually covered this. It is means what? Can take you to there. So there is to say. Okay, so what are you saying? Jena te etrande. Etrande is to hear, and this is negative sentence because the verb is between your ne and pa. So it is saying Jena etrande pa tres bien. So I can't hear you very well. I can't hear you well. This is what it means. So the other person to prendre these photos. So prendre is to actually take. To take, this is a verb again. Take the photos and to lace. So this is plural. Envoy is basically to send. Envoy. Envoy is basically to send. Sur more telephone. So basically he's saying take the pictures and send them on my telephone. So more telephone here actually means my telephone. This is actually saying about the possession. So the person who's talking on call, he is actually owning that phone. That's why. And then it says the code. The code is means agreeing, agreed. Okay. So it means that the person who is on call has accepted that they will send the photos on the other person phone. Okay. So this is how exactly this complete sentences, and let's move to the board and I'll show you how exactly the verb part works. So remember this, that there are er verbs, re verbs, ir verbs, irregular verbs, and for this problem you just need to understand what exactly their forms are. So I will try to put some of the verbs which are most common and usually come in exam. I can't explain all of them. I can make a video for that also if you want, but you have to put that in comment section that you want that kind of video where I actually help you in understanding all the verbs. But remember that it is going to take a long time and we have very less time for the exam. So just let me know if needed. I'll try and I'll put it anyway. So let me add a new board here and tell you that okay, let me change the color of the pen first. I'll use a better font here. So the thing is we are working on verbs, and these verbs can be can be regular or irregular. Okay, so the thing is these verbs actually come with the people, and we divide them as j, tu, il, la, nu, wu, and is. Okay, so basically he, she, so basically it I, you, he, she, we, you, and they. Okay, so this is how exactly these are divided, and what actually happens when we have regular verbs. So suppose we have an er verb. In this problem we had two er verbs. One was dancer and another was Shantu. Okay, Nancy and Shant. So what actually the rules is that for ER verbs rule, remove ER and add to it base form E ES E O N S O and then EZ and O N T. Okay. So if I remove for one of them, suppose I am removing for dance, so we have DANS left. Okay. Then I am going to put here DANS and I'll take E from here. So it becomes J dance. So I dance. Then for two, it becomes TANSES. I have taken the second one from here. So two dances, you dance. Now talking about he or she, it again dance. Then about no dance. So I have to add ONS dances. So DNS, jet, and for ill also it becomes dan. So okay. So when we move to the question one more time, we will see whether we have to put for J, Q, or for whom, and on the basis of that only we can answer it. Okay, because if is in context of knows, then it becomes dansos, and if it is in context of woos, then it becomes dances. So it keeps on changing. That's why it's very difficult to do it like this. So we need to make sure that we see how exactly this fit in. Okay, similar is the case with Shanti. Shanti also we will have ESE ONS EZ on in its base form, which will be CHANT, like that. Okay. Now coming to the irregular verbs. So we have some very common irregular verb, and let's discuss only the verbs which come in this question. So what I'll do, I'll just write J E T il L no vous N L. Okay. Now let's talk about the first irregular verb. So the first one is your être. So this verb basically, because it is irregular, it changes its form. So with J, basically it becomes sui. With tu, what actually happened? It becomes es. With il, it becomes est. With no, it becomes soms. And very important is to remember this, because this is the most important verb which keeps on changing. And once you remember this, I also suggest that you remember this, and once you get into the exam, you get the answer sheet, just write it down. Just write it down, so that in case you need to refer to this later, and you will definitely have to, so you have this come easy, because if you forgot this, then it would be a problem. Okay, so the next one is pouvoir, and it means to be able to or to do something. Okay, so it takes the form of PEUX when it comes with J, when it comes with Q, it does not change its form, so it remains PEUX. With il, it changes form, so it becomes PEUT. With the no, it changes its forms again, so it becomes POU. And with this, it becomes POUVEZ, and then it becomes PEUVENT. Okay, so this one also you need to remember. Then comes the other one, which is where, which I told you is to see. This becomes VOIS when it comes with J. With Q also it becomes VOIS. With il it becomes VOIT. Then it becomes VOYONS, Wyon, and then it becomes VOYEZ, and here it becomes VOIENT. So see how much variation they have. That's why they are irregular. Then there is next one, which is fair, which is to do or to make. So it becomes phase when it comes with J. It remains phase when it comes with Q, but it changes when it comes to il. It becomes faith. With no, it becomes faison, and with the woo, it becomes faith, and with il, it becomes form. Okay. Next one is there. There is to say, and it becomes this when it comes with J. With the Q also it remains this. With il, it becomes dit. With no, it becomes the song. With the wo, it becomes this. And with the is else, it becomes the same. Okay, so these are the five which were there in the text. Then there are three more. So I'll write one here and then we will move to the next board. It's entendre. Like I said, it is to hear. So with the J, it becomes intense. With the Q, it becomes intense. With the il, it becomes intend. Without s. With the no, it becomes entones. Sorry, let me correct this spelling. Yeah, so it is ENTENTONS. Then it is ENTENDEZ. Then it is ENTENDENT. Okay. Now that we have covered six, let's cover others. So the next one is prendre, PRENDRE. It becomes prince when comes with the J. It becomes prince again with the Q. Then it becomes your brain when it comes to ill, and it becomes pronouns. Then it becomes prenace, which was given in text, and then compare ENT. Okay, then there is one more, which is NY. It is to send, so it becomes NY with the J, NY again with the Q, then becomes NY with ill, then becomes NYOs with the no, then becomes NYAs with comes with woo and NY when it comes with ill or else. Remember this that you don't need to be perfect with the spelling. You can make mistakes. Of course, it's allowed. It's an exam for certificate. But the important thing is you should know that when ONS, when EZ, or when ENT has to come. Okay, 1 second. This is EZ. Okay, I'll just correct it perfectly so that you don't make mistakes in your notes at least. So it was Y and it was coming with no, so ONS. It is Y with EZ and it is GYENT. Okay, I'll just write here also JQEL new who in is else. Now with these, there are some RE verbs also you must remember because they are also very important for the exam. So I'll just write down those. One is vend. This is basically means to sell. So it becomes VENDS, VENDS with you also well, VENDONS with the okay, we had to cover whole no first. So VEND with the ill and with new it becomes VENDONS and with woo it becomes VENDEZ and for else it becomes VENDENT. Okay, then the next one is rendre, basically means to give back. Okay, so someone has something to give you back, then they it means rendre. Okay, so it becomes RENDS with the J, then become RENDS with the Q as well, become REND with the IL, become RENDONS with your news, then become RENDEZ with the who's, and become RENDENT with ills. Okay, then the next one, let's cover attendre. This can also appear in the exam. It means to wait. So it becomes ATTENDS with J and with Q also ATTENDS and with the ill it becomes ATTEND and with the no it's become ATTENDEGE oh sorry, not DEDO and S. Then with woo it becomes ATTENDEZ and with ills it becomes ATTENDENT. Okay, and let's cover the one more last because it need to be also there. It could be coming in the exam as important one. So you have to write REP. It basically means répondre means to answer. So REP ONDS with the Z, and then becomes REPONDS with Q, then become REPOND for ill, and then become REPONDONS, then becomes REPONDEZ for wolves, and then becomes REPONDENT in case of wills. Okay, so you just need to remember all these, how exactly they change their form based on the 6 cases we have been given here. Okay, and if you remember that, then it's very easy to solve the problem. So let us move back to the problem and solve this up. So I'll just hide open board, and we are here. Let me just grab a red pen and let's get started with this one. We have here hello Thu ether. So with the Thu, what exactly is the form of ether? I'll just show you the board one more time. So it is ES. Okay. So we'll go back and write ES here. This is this simple. You just need to focus on this and you must remember this. Okay. Then are you at the stadium? It is starting to. Now again it's come as Thu. So with Thu, what exactly it's from? So if you see the board, it is PEUX. Since I remember, I can put this here. World see Q passe. What is happening? Oh, it's just starting. Tell me, कैसे do where? So again with the Thu, we have to put this form. So if you remember, it is VOIS. Okay. Now it says Biko Dijins. Here exactly it means a lot of people. So it is a plural subject, and because it is a plural subject, it means it is going in the context of ills. For regular ER verb, we had the rule that in the end it should remove ER and come with ENT. So I can write DANSENT, and similar will happen here, very easy. So if you get one wrong, you can get both wrong. If you get one correct, you can get both correct. And it talks then about the others. So others are again plural subject, so it is going to is and else. So what exactly fair is, so its font I'll show you on the board as well. Let me show you once. Where was this? Yeah, here we had fair here. So from fair, this one was, I'm talking about font. Okay, so here it is coming from. Let's go back, and then it says unbelievable, this is crazy. What are you saying? I can't hear. So the next word is there, and it's coming with Thu. So it's irregular, and with Thu it becomes DIS. So I have just added that Jaina Thu. So it is again talking about the subject, but in a negative sentence. Okay. So right next to the blank, it's you, and it's an irregular verb. So what we are going to use here is not J but Thu. Okay. So I am going to write here and tense. Okay. If you see on the board also, it's Yeah, here it is here and this. Okay, let me go back and come here. Yeah. So I cannot hear you very well. You Prandre. So now again it is coming to tu. And tu basically when comes with Prandre it becomes Prends. Okay. So we had to write this one and this one is again irregular. So you have to remember this. And then it talks about the photos the other person need to save. Now, see, this is actually coming from the verb and why, and it is the YER verb. So, what actually happened? It changes to I before adding a standard ES endings. Okay, so it becomes your ANVOIES. Okay, this is how exactly it is done. Let me show you this on the board as well. So, where is that? Here. So this was the one invoice, and here it actually comes with yes. Okay, so if you can remember all these, then it is very easy to solve this kind of problem. But if you don't remember the verbs, then you might lose your 5 marks here. Okay, so you need to remember all IR verbs, RE verbs, and ER verbs, and then the irregular verbs also, in order to get 5 marks in this problem. Which I believe, if you have remembered, then you just actually go and practice them. Otherwise, I can make a video on that, so you can make a revision on them. But you need to tell me soon, since we have less time. Also, another thing is, if you don't have the understanding of this, then it is no use to waste time on this one, because it's quite difficult. You have to remember all the 6 forms and then how exactly the verbs are changing. It's not that you cannot go 100% correct on this one, but still believe this kind of problem in the last stage, if you don't know how to solve, then it's not good idea to go with them. Okay, we will go further now and read the problem number 3. So yeah, this says we need to complete with all these. Using all these, we have to complete this paragraph. These are all actually your possessive adjectives. So they tell basically who owns the stuff. They show possession over things for people. Okay, so let's first read this, then we will talk how exactly it is getting to get solved. So it says Sherry. Sherry is basically darling, and it is going to be Mon here, because if it would have been E, then it would have been a female one. So it is not a female one, that why we're going to have it. But I'll show you how exactly to solve this once the board rather than here. So it says, darling, Jane threw a pass. So basically, it says, I can't find. Through is to find. And ne pass is here, that means it's a negative sentence. So I can't find blank portfolio. So basically, this refers to wallet. I can't find my wallet. Normal me, basically, it means normally, normally, il is down. So it is in, basically, down, we did in this video itself that it means in sack army. So basically sack refers to bag. So normally it is in my bag, and because it's written may, so it's a hand. may stand for hand, so it is in my handbag. Normally it is in my handbag, but I could not find it. So the lady is telling to this to her husband. On sont les clés. So on is basically coming for where, and so is again we just did a trevor. It's form, and les clés, clay is basically your keys. So where are the keys? Elle sont dans la poche. So basically it says in the pocket. Poche is your pocket basically. So where are the keys? La poche means they are in the pocket. Okay. It's terrible. Says terrible means is terrible. J again it's a negative sentence. Ne through a pass. I can't find. Okay. I can't find. I can't find la address. So the address. I can't find the address, and then there is a blank ms. So ms refer to friend Lee and Gulami. So basically she is trying to find the address of these two and she is not able to find, just like she is not able to find her wallet in the handbag. Then it says queue list address. So basically this queue is again we when we did about queue we studied that this is feminine. So this is feminine and it says S address. So she is not able to find the address also. Okay. Now let's move to the board and I'll show you how exactly this works. I will add a new page and we'll do it. So let me write here possessive adjectives. It's possessive adjectives. They basically show ownership. So uh, they show ownership and they need to agree in gender and number with the object being owned and not with the owner. So in the passage, if you remember, there were different objects she was talking about: the address, the wallet, those things. It needs to actually agree with in terms of gender and number, not the lady who was talking to her husband. Okay, so let's just do one thing. We write down here how exactly this table goes in terms of people. So we'll write here in English about the part. So basically the owners. So it could be my, and if I'm saying my, the owner will be I, and if I'm saying your, then the owner will be you, and if I say his, her or its, then owner will be he, she, it, right? And if I say our, then owner will be we, and if I say your, then owner will be you, and this is going to be plural one. Okay, and if I say their, then owner will be they. Okay, so you need to remember who will be the owner in these cases. Now, when we actually have to use this in French, we have masculine singular, we have feminine singular, and we have plural. The good part is for male and female, we have this, and it's almost similar. Okay, so let us write down how it works. So if it is, so in case we have to say that it is my stuff, then masculine singular is mon, female singular is ma, and plural is miss. Okay, then if I you have to say your, then masculine singular is tu, feminine singular is ta, and plural is this. So this is not tu actually, this is ton, because it's mon ma mes ton ta tes and son sa ses. This is how you remember this. So for his her its is son sa, and then say. For our you use notre, so you write notre. For female also notre, that is why it is formal, and then it is nos. Then votre, votre, vos. And for there you just use clear, clear, clear. Okay, so the note is, if a feminine singular word start with vowel or h, then we don't use ma, to, so, because of hard pronunciation. So we use mon, ton, son in that case. Okay, so just to you remember, we had these words. We had one word which was share. So share is basically stands for my darling, and because it is the one with the without any other adjective, so we just say that it goes with masculine singular. Okay, but if it has an e, then it is not a masculine singular, it's feminine singular. Okay, in the end. Similarly, there was one word which was portefeuille. So this is again a wallet and it's masculine singular. Okay. Then there was a word sac a main. So basically, in my handbag. This is also masculine singular. Then there was a word ma, which was again masculine singular. Then there was word address. This word is feminine singular. Okay. So with this, let's try to solve the problem now. So I'll just hide this and we will come to the question. I'll just get it at pen. Yeah, I have it. So it was Sherry. So basically Cheri, because it does not have an e. So the speaker is saying my darling. The word is feminine singular when it has an e, but since we don't have an e here, we will write more. Okay, my darling, uh, because she's talking to her husband. Jena Tuve pass, and now she's talking about the Protifule. So basically, she's talking about the purse. So she, the purse is the thing which she owns, and that purse is actually masculine, singular. So because the object is here masculine and it is singular, so what you have to do is you have to add more. Okay. Normally it is in sec. I mean, this is again sec. I mean is masculine, and because it's talking about the haggard bag, and it is singular. So masculine singular means again you have to add more. And this one is about the address of friend. Friends again is the one which is masculine, but this time it is plural. So because it is plural, since we have an S here, we'll write MES. Okay. Then it says these are my friends whose address I'm not able to find. Now address is basically the one which is feminine singular, but the thing is in this case it's had to be plural because it's multiple. So when it comes to plural, we have to add lure. So we will write Leur. Okay, because speaker is actually in this case telling us what is the address, referring to her friend. Now, even if the address is actually singular for two people, she is actually asking their address. So their address means plural, and you have to write lure. Okay. So yeah, that is for this one. Also, a thing is we can move on with okay, let's move on with this video only rather than creating another video, because then it will be little more difficult to actually create that and then get more time in order to do it. So let's do it this one only. So we will move with the reading comprehensions now. Let me just start with the first one. And yeah, so let us read the first one. It says this is actually a comprehension passage which says that read the text. So this stand for read the text and respond to following questions. So basically this stand for following. We need to read this and then we have to follow the questions. So it says to someone has written an email on 21st June and the subject is party. So with this stand for party. Salute. So basically hi. JT acres. Acre is basically coming from the word acquire, which means to write. So generally in emails we write no. I am writing to update you. I'm writing to tell you that one. So it's right. JT agrees for the party. So basically, four is four, and fete I told you is the party. The anniversary surprise the mark. So birthday. Anniversary means birthday. The anniversary, the birthday. Okay. So birthday surprise of Mark. So basically, the first line is that I am writing to let you know about the party, which is a surprise to birthday on the birthday of Mark. J through ways to find Yunsal. Yunsal refers to basically Sal refers to a room. So find a room for Fairy to make to do the party. Please find a room to do the party on the birthday of Mark. SCQ. So basically, is a question. Do you want? Do you can? So basically, it refers to can. Verb is the verb from which it is coming. We just did in the previous questions. So it says to can la reserve for 15th July. So it is basically saying uh, find a room and reserve it for 5th July. Okay. J is trying, so I am trying to find a room and reserve it for 5th July. 5th July should be Mark's birthday because it is his birthday party, so it should happen on this day. Apply refers to call, so call. Mbathu, so some person, name and phone number is given, and at apres refers to after. So basically, it's saying call this person, and after calling this envoy, envoy is basically to send. Blue is here, so it means indirect object is here, which means you check. So basically, after talking to Mark, send a check of 150 euro, and then it says Avant is basically before, like Apres is after, so Avant is before. Before that, lay lieu Juliet. So before that, you I think this is before 1 July. Before 1st of July, just send the money. So call this guy, book a room, and before this 1st July, just send the money to him. J occupy. So basically, M occupy is again a verb which means to take care of oneself. Okay, so it is saying to take care of oneself. La nourriture, nourriture is food, and samla du cadeau. So basically, it is saying that I will take care of the food, and Samya will take care of the gift. You just call Mr. Bhatia and make a payment to him, and in addition to it, just reserve a room for Mark birthday party on 5th July. So I ask you to you can contact La Copine. Okay, so copine refers to girlfriend, basically your female friend, and pull list to list. So you can also contact Mark's girlfriend in order to get the list of the people who have been invited. Okay, this is what exactly the text is all about. Now we have to actually solve the problem based on this text. So let's see what exactly the problem is. So the first problem is pourquoi. Pourquoi, I told you, basically stand for why. SCQ, quel a un fete. So basically it is saying at what time the party is. So basically it's asking about the person for whom it is being arranged. Okay. So because it says pourquoi, who, and then it says est quel a un fete. So for whom? Huh? So we just write here the answer for it, though we know it's for the mark because it's written in the paragraph. Let me just take the red pen. It mentioned the mark, but we have to write it in the way that we get marks. So if you don't understand anything, you can write the mark also. They will give you 1 mark for this. At least you are writing something. But the correct answer will be sixth. So it, basically I have written it, and then we'll write pour. So it is for la fête. La fête, basically it is for the party on the anniversary surprise the ma. Okay, it is for Mark's surprise birthday party. So basically, uh, it was the answer, and then it says la fête se passe que la. So basically, it is a day. Sapese, I told you, is basically uh, asking when is the recipient has to book the room. So basically, uh, when is the party? The question is asking us, and we will say it is on 5th July. So second one. Okay. Just remember that you need to answer it even if you don't know exactly how to write the exact answer in French. You still need to write the way you can actually make it. Okay. So let's move to the next one. The next one talks about QUI. So QUI means who. It's who. SCQ. So again, it says who is going to call our place. So basically, the instruction says directly that they need to call Mr. Pathya. So I am not Pathya. I will put here. Then the next one talks about the room. Kutte means so how many is the money for the room. So this one we can actually write clearly. So except the first one, we would have been able to make mistake, but this one we can write. So la sale kote, and let me see what exactly was the cost. I think it was around 130 or $150, 150 euro. Okay, so I'll write 150 euro. Okay, then the next last one, which is says Samya Sokupe di Kui. So basically, Samya was working on what? So let me see. Samya was working on Kadyo, I suppose, the gift. And Samya do Kadyo. Yeah, so Samya was working on Kadyo. Now let's go here, and this one we have to actually mark. Okay, so see, I think even if we would have not been able to write the perfect answer for the first one, rest all we could have done very easily. And in the first one also we could have actually write the mark, which would have given us at least 1 marks there. Okay, so yeah, reading comprehension are quite scoring. At least the first one I found quite scoring. Let's read to the next one and see. One thing before we move that one, even if in the first one we would have written the mark, it would have not been correct because we had to write anniversary also. So we had to write the mark anniversary because the question. No, let me just tell you. This is actually saying why, and then this is helping. So let's forget about this. Why Ilya, basically Ilya means there is, there is. Then it says a party. Why there is a party? So we at least have to write that it's mark anniversary, the mark anniversary. That's why there is a party. And we in this all we have written cest pour la fete, the anniversary, surprise the mark. So the party is to because they want to surprise mark. That's why. Okay, so you need to read it that way. Anyways, let's move to the second one. So second one says that read the text below and respond to question. So by now you know exactly what span following and what exactly it means. So we will read this. Let me get to blue pen. So it says La Tribulus du Dimanche. So Dimanche actually means Sunday. Sunday. And Tribulus means worker. So the workers who work on Sunday, basically, something like that is it. Touch my pass my more Dimanche. Don't touch my Sunday. Don't touch my Sunday. So this is a small job text. So this one is different. It says this is my choice. This is my choice. Okay. So in France, it says traditionally. Traditionally means traditionally. La dimanche, the Sunday is the day to repose. Repose means to rest, and de la semaine. So basically, to rest for the next week. Semaine refers to the week. Okay, so this refers to week. Then it says but the plus means more and more. So more and more and more. The gens refers to people, and turbulence refer to working people. So, okay, so working people the day. So, but more and more people are working on the day. Earlier, it used to be in France as a holiday for preparing for the weekend or for the next week. Okay. L'atelier français naissant passe tous the accord sous ses sujets. So basically, it is saying that the Francis, lies Francis, basically the French people are ne pas, so don't want to be touched according to the subject. So basically, they don't want the Sunday to be actually touched based on this paragraph. It says you sont les travailler du dimanche. So it's saying why people actually work on Sunday, or who are the people who work on Sunday. Okay, you sont les travailler dimanche means who are the people who work on Sunday. Say sont sortiu. So basically, it is masculine, and then R, and it says security. Okay, security, sutut, and the people and the females. So basically, young people and the females. Okay, it says the Jews means the young, and females mean female. Okay, young people and female. Ils travaillent dans la santé. So basically, those who are in healthcare, Shanti means healthcare, and after healthcare, it's about transport. So those who are working in transportation, moving things, also then security is also there, and those who actually work in hostel or restaurant, they are also the one. Then it says combien sont-ils? So how these people often work, or way of working it talks about. So it says on travailler or quatre. Quatre stand for four. So basically, one fourth of these people generally work on Sunday, which is almost 75% of the population. And it says travailler parfois dimanche presque. So which are the occupations basically? So agriculture, nurses is there, infirmers is nurses, the policers means police officers, and then the employees of the cafe, so basically waitress and other, and then it talks about the hotel and the restaurant. So below I see there is a testimonial now where actually the first name is given, and it says Leo's Demigoni visage is also mentioned, which means face, and then testimonials means actually the testimonials. So we have the testimonials of the people below who generally work on Sunday. So these are the three people. Let us read their testimonials. So it says. Jesui serves dance restaurant. So basically, she's a waitress in a restaurant. Then it says J travaille c'est juste passe c'est my Jesui dukes la weekend. So basically, she's saying that she works on weekend and 6 days a week. Then it says Palo Sese Samedi. So basically, she starts working from Saturday and at Parles Les Dimanche. So from Saturday and Sunday, these are the 2 days she also works. And that actually is a negative sentence here. Ne pass is there, and that means she does not like to work, and she gets so much tired all the time that she does not get time for her boyfriend also in the weekend. So that was exactly about her. Let's think about Leah. So she's a nurse, and she works almost all 7 days. She said that she likes to work on Saturday and Sunday. It is because she does not have children, and she gets a chance to make more earning. So here earning is given. This is 120 euro she makes while she work on Saturdays and Sundays. So this person is quite happy with the fact that she has to work on the Sundays and over the weekend. Let's read about the third one, who's Noor. So he says J so is chauffeur. So basically the taxi. So basically he's a taxi driver. Early through sleigh weekend. So he's saying that I also work on weekends and La Samedi. So basically he starts on Saturday and comes by the time of evening around 5:30, and then he works till night and on Sunday as well. And he's saying that he actually gets an off on Wednesday, and when he gets an off, he actually go ahead and take care of his children on the day on which he has an off. So he uh, keeps on waiting for that moment to come, since he said JA may be same moment. So basically, he loves working. Let's read the questions now, since we have figured out this. So the question says, say the moment is on. So it cannot be a blog because we actually saw their pictures and testimonials. Testimonials generally mean the article in press. If I think of option C, then it says Yoon Fitch. Yoon Fitch is basically your poster. So it's A for this one. Let's move to the next one then. It says this Uri Fox. So basically, Uri stand for true, and your false stand for false. Then it says justify votre choice. So justify your choice. Ancient Yun phrase the text. So basically, we have been given here true and false. We have to study them and then decide on the text whether they are correct or not, and we have to find a phrase in our support. So let's read the first one. It says Tu la traveler de dimanche sotle home. So basically, all men's work only on Sunday, and no females has to work. Well, this is false, since we read above the interviews also, but we have to find a supporting statement there. And if we just check for it now, let's see the text and try to figure it out. If there was something interesting related to it. So let me read through and try to find. Okay, I am able to find it. It talks about the Katre 75%. So that is the one which talks about how many people work. It's one fourth. That means 75%. So it says presque the travel the march. So basically this answer about it, and about the first one, it is just above it. It says that Jews and home, so basically females, so male and females both work. So for the first one, it's above this, and second one, it's here where Khatri is mentioned. So these two phrases from the text actually supports my answer. So we are done with this one. Let me see what exactly the next part is. So it says complete the table using the testimonials of the persons with the text given below. So we need to complete this table using what exactly was in the text for all of these people. So let's start with the profession first. So this Leah, I remember she was in a, so I'll write infirmers here, and then for the Claire, I have to go and see, and for the Noor, I remember he was a shopper, basically a taxi driver. But let's go to the text and see the correct spelling for that. Okay, so yeah, here we are, and she is a basically a waitress, and then okay, I wrote infamous spelling wrong, so we'll go and correct this and shuffle. Yeah, so here let's fill the values we got. This one is E, this one is Saville use, so we'll write that, and next one is shower. Okay, and now we will move to see how many hours in a day they work. So Claire works 6 days in a week, while Leah works all 7 days in a week, and Noor works 6 days in a week. So let's go and put this up. Okay, coming to the last one then. The last one says that we need to find who is happy and who is not with the part. So if I see here, Claire was certainly not happy. Leah was making money, so she's happy, and Noor is certainly not happy. So let's go back and fill this up. Yeah, yeah. So with this, we have actually ended up completing this, and you are since here. Please like the video and do leave a comment that it helped you out or not. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.